here, I'm Zach.
And my name is Max, and today we're going to be reviewing the iPhone 6s Plus. It's been over a year since this phone was released, and with the release of the iPhone 7, let's see if it's still worth buying. Hey, what's up guys, Max here. I'm going to be taking the lead on this review because I've been using this phone as my daily driver. To start it off, I'm going to go over some basic specs. This phone is 6.77 ounces. It's got a 5.5 inch screen with IPS LCD. It has a resolution of 1920 by 1080p with 401 pixels per inch. It has an A9 chip with 64-bit architecture and an M9 motion coprocessor. Screen to body ratio is 67.91%, which basically means that this phone has pretty big bezels on the top and the bottom, and also the sides, so it makes it a pretty big phone to hold, especially on the Plus variant. Moving on to the design and build quality, Apple used the new 7000 series aluminum, which is tougher than the 6000 series used on the iPhone 6. The only main aesthetic difference between the iPhone 6 and the 6s is the small S on the back of the phone, which most people won't even notice. Luckily, the iPhone 7 did not change a whole lot in looks, so this phone definitely doesn't look outdated. The antenna lines on the back are carried over from its predecessor. If you don't like them, you can put a skin or case on it. Because of the screen to body ratio, the Plus variant is big, and when you put a case on it, it really becomes bulky. If you have small hands, the Plus might not be a good choice. The buttons are placed on the same spot as the smaller 6s, and so reaching the on-off button can be hard and requires some maneuvering. The fingerprint sensor is very fast and quite accurate. Usually all it requires to unlock my phone is a quick tap. The speakers are also really good, but they're placed in a pretty bad spot and they're easily covered. Overall, the design and build quality are very similar to its predecessor and its successor. The screen is nowhere near perfect, and it only supports a 1080p display, which in 2016 is fairly weak. For a 1080p display, it's good and gets bright in direct sunlight. Moving on to software, this phone is running the latest version of iOS and won't be outdated anytime soon. This phone is very optimized, and the software and internals work seamlessly together to produce a smooth experience. For example, this phone has a lot less RAM than its counterparts on the Android side, yet it manages the RAM a lot better and works great. 3D Touch was originally released on this phone, and after a year it's proven to be mostly a gimmick. Most people that have the 6s surprisingly don't know what 3D Touch is, and I find myself mainly using it to show other people what it is. There's a couple features that do stand out, like pressing and swiping from the left side to multitask, and holding the keyboard to move around easier. These do take a little bit of getting used to, but once you're in the habit, they actually do become pretty useful. The battery on the iPhone 6s is actually smaller than the 6, but it manages to do about the same. It has a non-removable lithium-ion battery, and I found my phone to be great on battery when I first got it, but over time the battery became worse, and now it's only average to poor. My phone got pretty hot when I used it intensively, and when this happened, the battery drained really fast. I found the best thing to do when this happened is to turn it off and let it cool down. I do have to say that the standby time on this phone is excellent, and when I'm not using it a lot, the battery can last for a really long time. The rear-facing camera is a 12 megapixel shooter with f2.2 aperture. The only difference between the 6s and the 6s Plus is that the 6s Plus has optical image stabilization, which really helps with recording video. The 6s also records 4K video, which isn't anything new, but it's something that the 6 doesn't have. The selfie camera on this is really good, with a bump from 2 megapixels to 5 megapixels, and the addition of the Retina flash. If you're into selfies, you won't be disappointed. A cool thing as well is that the Retina flash works on other apps like Snapchat, providing some quality photos. Although it's not wide angle like other phones, this camera is really good and definitely stands up to the phones released in 2016. To answer the original question, the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus are definitely still worth buying. If you're not sold with the iPhone 7, This phone is for sure up to par and you won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe for more quality tech videos. Peace.